Good morning, lunatics. Welcome to Morning Java. Morning Java brought to you, as always, down by our good friends at the Get-Go Cafe and Market, where for $4.99 you can get like the best 7-inch sub out there.
And you can get it your way too. That's the other thing. Is like you walk in. Sometimes people see those touch screens and they think, "Well, I just have to get this or I have to get this." You can customize the thing. I believe it's when you add all the formulas up, it's 300,000 different varieties, which means Hunter can put ranch on everything, and it's somehow counted into the 300,000.
I only need one. Just give me my buffalo chicken tenders, some extra sauce, and some cheese, and I'm really happy.
I'm liking this. Let's talk a little bit of abstract baseball.
Okay.
You're down there close to the dugout, and you see the interaction and hear the interaction between the players, between the coaches, with the manager. And one of the things that's going to come up at when things don't go well is, are they still together? Are they still... What are you seeing? What are you hearing? Without being like a spy here.
There's a lot of stuff that I see that when I send it back up top, they're
share.
like, let's use this for us, but not for other people. Honestly, I don't see a lack of the camaraderie. I don't see the wheels coming off with the coaches interacting with players. I don't see players like segregating on the bench or
a little bit.
But that's
the Latin guys.
That's just always there.
Okay,
that's
but I just don't want to
baseball.
say it doesn't happen at all. That's baseball.
Yeah. No, this isn't like you don't see guys going and sitting by themselves or sitting with other non-producing players and seeing Starling Marte sitting with only guys who.
What about being up on the dugout railing? Because that was such a big point of emphasis for Clint Hurdle going into the season, was be up there, support your guys, be vocal.
Well, I mean, we've seen it, right? A lot of the photos that I share now, you see Colin Moran sitting up on the railing, and he's got
Mr. Engagement.
It is different in that regard. The guys are sitting on the bench, and they are more interacting with each other than they are the scene on the field. So I think that's changed.
All I know is that you will hear occasional bickering, and this is from my perspective more in the clubhouse. You're always going to hear complaints. I mean, it's true of any walk of life. So the Pirates and any other team aren't going to be an exception. But it's never, at least not yet, and at least not to my ears, it's not pointed. It's not like at this guy or at that guy or at the manager or certainly not the owner. They never even talk about that stuff.
No, and honestly, the one really good example I have of them really coming together and supporting each other was when I was talking a lot about the people in the stands just yelling, not just at opposing players, not at the management, not at the ownership, but starting to really chirp the players who are maybe not who you'd expect to be on the mound in a major league game or whatever the case may be. And Starling Marte and Joe Musgrove both come over to that side of the bench and they look out into the stands and they deliberately make eye contact.
Yeah.
And Marte's hey, and
to protect the guy.
Yeah, and
that's awesome.
It calms down. I mean, those guys really support each other. They don't feel like the guy on the mound.
That's awesome. You never told me that. That's great.
I mean, it's they support each other. It doesn't matter if he's a AAA pitcher.
That's cool. Steelers versus New England, Sunday night.
I hate this week.
Why?
I hate Steelers Patriots week.
Why? Oh, because of all of our inferiority complexes that get exposed in this city.
It's
all it is, man. That's all it is. One thing, one of the many things I love about the Steelers' own internal chemistry, and this is before they started adopting the late Darryl Drake's "shut out the noise" mantra.
Right.
They really shut out the noise always when it regards New England. They hate hearing about this and that from 15 years ago, and Tom Brady's never lost in Foxborough, or when they get up there, all the Patriots are going to do is cheat and get into their radio headsets. Like Tomlin says, nameless gray faces. That's who we're facing on Sunday night.
Yeah, I retweeted something from our good friend earlier in the week, Chase Williams, where I saw, he had laid out the stats, and it was 5-0, the Tom Brady era in Foxborough.
18 touchdowns, zero interceptions.
All of it.
Everything.
All of it.
He's perfect.
But what I saw also was that in the replies to that, it wasn't all just the piling on and the negativity
It wasn't.
and Tomlin can't beat Belichick. I don't know if it's
Well,
all.
they did beat them
right.
in December.
No, I know that's part of this.
It doesn't count, I guess. It only counts if it's in January.
You're coming off the heels of a good win against the team, but then you don't make the playoffs. But what people were starting to say is saying things like, I think people like the way that this defense looks, the youth and the energy and the swarminess of them. And you start to see replies that are like, oh, 18 touchdowns, 2 interceptions,
Yeah.
That's,
well, the biggest difference for me, and maybe this is part of the source of that confidence, is going to be that speed on the defense. Because if you think back to previous matchups, especially in Foxborough, for some reason, Brady was able to get those little Hogans and so forth running around. Julian Edelman's, he's probably going to play, but he's not at 100%. I think we know that. He doesn't have Rob Gronkowski anymore, not that he was little. But he made his own space.
Right. Against 2 or 3 people.
The ability of the Steelers to close those spaces, to close those gaps is going to be just... I think it's going to be everything to this matchup.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you start looking at X factors like Josh Gordon, who's a guy that, he should have been tearing the league apart, but due to his own detriment, he
tore himself apart.
He tore himself apart. So now you're looking at an X factor that's only played X amount of, you can count on one hand the games
He might be
he's
suspended before Sunday too, for all we know. So.
He could.
So, what is this?
The watch.
No. This right here. What is that?
Yeah, I got a new watch to get.
No. Out here. Right.
Not the leather band.
The leather band.
This.
Guys
and gals. I got married.
He got married.
What's up with that?
He got married. Sunday found someone to love him. How does the Twitter meme go? Find someone who loves you like...
I'm going to go with find someone who looks at you the way that Colin Moran rests his chin on the bench.
So it's like sappy? Like this?
But it's loving.
So Molly looks at you like sappy?
Yeah,
like this,
with
like
her beard and everything. Yeah. No, I got married. We spent a week at Snowshoe, West Virginia. It was truly wonderful. I mean, I don't think that these things ever go without small hiccups, but the hiccups they didn't impact us. They didn't impact our guests.
Who did they impact? What are we talking about?
They didn't. They impacted.
Is it like
Molly.
what? Something didn't show up or something didn't arrive on time?
So we're looking at the worst thing that happened at the wedding being that there wasn't cheese on the charcuterie board. And I know this would impact you.
The who board?
Charcuterie. The cut up like the salty meats and the cheese and...
Charcuterie.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
I love salty meats. Anyway, that's like really the biggest thing that
awesome.
went wrong. It
the
was.
charcuterie board, I mean.
All of it was awesome. We had the ceremony up on a lawn, and it overlooks the mountains and the valley in West Virginia. And then
all very picturesque for the photographer.
You could say that.
Who did you trust to take pictures?
Well, see, now that's the thing. If you go back, I wrote a Sunday's Best on...
Did you just do like selfies?
I did do one. Because at the beginning of this, everybody's always got cameras. All of my friends are photographers, right?
Yeah.
So you have to at some point say, "Hey, let the people that are making the money take the photos."
Let the pro do it.
So at the beginning, we say, stand up, take one photo. It was beautiful, and then we ask that you put your phone or your camera away until the end of the ceremony. And I took my phone out and I grabbed Molly and I took a selfie with the mountains and the hills.
That's it. That'll
us.
be the official one.
That's it. That's the one that we'll go with. But much like I did after the engagement photos, I plan on I'll write something up on the whole event because it doesn't fit into one Java segment. But yeah, man, it was awesome.
If you were wearing your Sunday's best.
I absolutely was. I got to give a shout out to David Allen. I mean, I've talked about this guy how many times. The David Allen Fashion Show. I do it every fall with
I didn't know who you were talking about.
No,
okay.
but
yeah,
we've got
right.
Dangerfield and Chicolo and the Steelers show
Steelers
up and they look all good. I mean, the same guy that made Ryan Shazier's wedding suit made mine. I mean, it's
wow,
that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I like it.
I mean, I looked good. I'm not ashamed to say that
you're no Shazier, man.
I'm not Shazier.
You are not Shazier.
I may be a few pounds heavier than I was in high school or the last time I wore a tailored suit. I look dang good though. Yeah, I did. I promise.
Congratulations, man.
I appreciate it.